WRTR Real Talk Radio. Featured guest DJs. Original shows. Music news. The hottest DJs from around the world.
Lyric, I just came across this headline, and it's like, it's talking about school lunch debt. And what? I'm wondering, it's talking about school lunch debt and the issues surrounding school debt. And I'm like, wait a minute, these are children.
Mm-hmm.
It's food. Feed them.
Right.
Why is lunch debt a thing? Why are we dealing with this?
In 2024, child.
I guess as we welcome y'all to a new week of hell here at WRTR Real Talk Radio. Welcome to a new week. Thanks for coming back. My name is Marcus Smoot.
My name is Miss Lyric Bravado.
How you feeling this week, Mama?
Tired as hell.
All right.
Yep.
What's going on?
Trying to get used to this new machine that the doctor said I need. CPAP.
Oh yeah, your CPAP machine.
Oh my God. So annoying.
Yeah, you're giving elephant vibes.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
Other than that, I've been alright.
How is it, like, wearing it though? I mean, is it?
It's not uncomfortable, but it's uncomfortable knowing that I have it on. If that makes any sense.
Okay.
It's something that I have to like get used to.
Oh.
And I've noticed that I don't have any dreams anymore while I wear it. So I Googled it, and they said that's a real thing because it's helping you get a better, deeper sleep. You tend to not remember your dreams as much.
Huh.
But it feels weird to me though.
But okay, so how does that work in the whole context of dreams supposedly being like how your mind works out your subconscious issues or whatever? How does that work? I don't know. Shit.
So when your sleep is interrupted, from what I read, you have a tendency to remember like certain bits and pieces of it. Versus wearing the machine, it's giving you a better rest, so you're going deeper into your sleep REM, so you're not going to remember your dreams as much, if at all.
Huh. Wow. Okay. Well, I guess that would make sense. Okay, because you're in a deeper sleep, less state of consciousness, less recollection. Okay.
But I like having my dreams, though. I'm kind of upset about it. I be fucking people up in my dreams. And in real life. And in real life.
I'm just saying, you can just make it all a reality. We can do that. I mean, you know, drag her. Let's go. What kind of mood you in this week?
I'm in a try Jesus, not me mood.
Okay, you have something to follow.
People just have been trying to get me out my bag, to irritate me, to provoke me all this week, and I'm over it, and I'm about to start clapping back because don't bother me when I'm in my peaceful mode. Like, you don't want that. Nobody wants that.
Thing. That is the thing. Let me tell you, achieving mental peace is something that very few people do, but once you've achieved it, that's something that you just don't want to relinquish. You don't want to give it up. You just want to chill. And like anybody that comes into that space and tries to disrupt just that little bit of peace, just a tad, little piece, and it's like people will work so much harder to irritate you than it would be to just leave you alone.
Right.
My mood.
The best bet is to leave me the fuck alone.
I hear you. And I'm in that mood too because
that's right.
Listen, let me tell you, my Friday the 13th yesterday,
I
woke up to a big steaming pile of shit. Go outside. Wow. Girl, somebody done hit me for gas. Like gas on my, like, okay, so on my car, of course, there's the locked, gas. There's the lock gas tank.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the, where you can only like hit the button on the inside, it unlocks the tank, you put your gas in. I didn't even think that people still stole gas, to be honest with you. Like out of normal cars, I thought that was a thing of the past, honestly, because I don't see it often, or maybe I don't hear about it often. All I hear about are like bigger crimes, like more smart crimes. But now niggas is hitting up other niggas for gas so they can drive and go do bigger crime. It's like, what the fuck, yo? And it's systemic. I get it. It's irritating, and maybe it's just my time in the hood, but that shit really pissed me off if y'all are out here hitting people for gas, girl.
First of all, gas is way too expensive, and you have every right to be fucking pissed off about it, because first of all, don't touch my shit. Don't touch my stuff that I worked and bust my ass for during the fucking week. Like, get up and fucking do something. Oh my god, I sound like that commercial that used to come on. You remember that Everest commercial? Get up and do something. You ain't doing nothing anyway.
I do.
You're just sitting on the couch.
It's your life shit. Get off the couch, nigga. Go to Everest.
But I mean, that sentiment applies here, because why are you touching other
people's
shit?
Like,
go
job.
Out and get you a bag.
Get a job, bitch. Get a job. Leave my shit alone. And I get it. The door for the little thing. Yes, the door, it's going to cost probably like $40 to replace. And the gas itself. And I'm getting I got one of those little lock gas caps on the way today.
Right.
So, but I mean, I get it, but it's just like the property damage and I didn't even have that much gas in my car. It was towards the end of the week. I was like, I ain't feeling this shit up to the weekend. You know how you do.
Yeah.
You be like, I'm trying to get home. I ain't trying to fight with y'all in rush hour traffic.
To work.
Exactly. I'm trying to beat traffic. I'm trying to get home, park my shit. Like, really? So that is my mood. And I'm working towards it. It's given me an anger that I'm trying to work through, because I want to be so much more than just a podcaster. I want to get out here and do more in the community, as far as activism, as far as, enacting change, as far as all of that. But y'all niggas, when you do shit like this, it makes it really hard for the people out here that are trying to advocate for us. It gives you this vengeful kind of soloist kind of vibe, like, well, shit, I worked for mine, nigga, work for yours, good luck. I mean, just like how we were feeling the day after the election about, other demographics and shit. Like, that was really real feelings in those moments. Yeah. But I swear, if it wasn't for therapy, some of y'all. Anyways, just saying. Who you want to be like when you grow up?
Let's see. I want to be like April Showers.
Who's she?
Yes, it's a real name. She is the CEO, right? She is the CEO of Afro Unicorn, and I know those who have young children have probably seen her products in Target, all across the United States. She's the first Black-owned woman who has founded a business to sell a licensed character brand in a major retail.
What?
And also, she now has a partnership with Build-A-Bear. So you can go and get your own little cute, adorable unicorn in Build-A-Bear that features an afro.
Nice. Actually, Target is on the come up as far as Black people goes, because this isn't the first story we've read from Target as far as their Black brands. The shaving people, Bevel, they make products for Black men, well, for Black people. I don't know, I just know for the men. That's at Target, Black owned and operated, products specifically for Black people. And wow,
they've always been big on that. They really have on that, and I love that.
I found a story about Target that I'm going to talk about later on in the show, but as we move along, when I grow up, I want to be like Dr. Sadie Tanner Massel Alexander. Okay, I've always loved the name Sadie for whatever reason. It reminds me of like a strong ass black woman, just like this. She is the first African American woman to earn a PhD in economics, and she earned this in 1921. Wow. Article says her pioneering spirit and relentless pursuit of education in a time when both race and gender posed significant barriers. They basically, it was during that time that black people were not receiving these kinds of education. So shout out to her. Dr. Alexander not only excelled in her academic pursuits, but she also dedicated her life to advocating for social justice and civil rights. She served as a powerful voice for African Americans in the realms of economics and in public policy. She worked with organizations like the NAACP. She used her expertise to address economic inequalities and promote equitable opportunities for all. So definitely, I aspire that kind of grind to carry that torch forward in my own journey. Shout outs to her.
Shout outs to both of them.
Okie dokie. Let's move this podcast right along. You ready for some letters? I got one.
Sure.
All righty. We'll be back in just a second if it were lyric. Hold on.
Hey, us. Black men.
Yep.
Black men, okay. There's something about black men and the homosexual conversation that is it is a mess. The phobia as it relates to black men is the elephant in the room. And no one will actually articulate their devastation, right? Because you have to think, like, for a black man, the worst thing to be called is gay.
If we go a step further, if you want to discredit a black man, all you gotta do really is say they're gay. A lot of us have been really indoctrinated to think that any type of femininity coming from us as a man is a literal dishonor to our black masculinity. A lot of us are taught that we are able to trivialize another person's manhood if they don't live up to the masculine ideas that we have, which always makes it where there are certain men or certain ideas of men that's always under that. Gay men. I can hear y'all in the comment sections right now. Well, consciously, I ain't homophobia because phobia means fear and I ain't scared of them. Listen, I know what you're willing to do to prove you ain't scared of them, but you forgetting the other part of the definition, the word aversion. But there's also definitions of it that call it like it is, the dislike of or prejudice against gay people. A lot of us in our community justifies this because we believe that the white supremacy has always tried to assault black men with buck breaking and trying to demasculate us in front of everybody. So we believe the mere presence of a gay man is that exact thing. The demasculization and attack on the black community and attack on black men. I think that's the reason why so many of us love to trivialize the same gender-loving men in our community.
Something within our culture that has created this stigma. That is the somehow there's a program to make black men gay. Like you see it everywhere.
Yeah, for sure.
There's an attack on
there's an agenda.
Strong black men. But who's the attack coming from?
Do you believe there's an attack?
How?
No, I'm asking. Do you believe?
Again, that's my answer.
Oh, how?
How?
Well, I think as people say it,
it's parts of our community that's more concerned with symbolic attacks of gay people in cartoons than they are with deadbeat dads. If we being real, a lot of the paranoia and concern around the effeminization of men literally just exposes how we think about femininity and women, because we think that any feminized man is too close to being women. We like to do women, dominate them, think about them as objects. So we can't have no man dishonoring their black masculinity and sliding into it. That's the reason why you love to trivialize their manhood. Is you really a man? Because you like that over there. I see folks in the comments right now. But didn't Tank, you know what I'm saying, put what in his mouth one time? Yes, he did. And he decided he didn't like it. You feel me? So it's just like thinking about the way in which y'all love to think about black masculinity in a very archaic, rigid way, where you can only define what it means to be like a man in the way that you believe, and it makes it where all the other ways that don't conform with that, you find it justifiable to dominate or exclude. It's probably the reason why Tank's initial response was what it was. Education is elevation. I'll holler.
Maybe not what you should do, but definitely she would if it were lyric.
Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is your girl, Miss Lyric, and I'm back with my segment, If It Were Lyric, where I give my advice on your situationships, relationships, and friendships, and everything in between. Please continue to send me your advice questions to my Gmail at lyricbravado@gmail.com, and I will continue to answer them in the order they were received. Okay?
Do we?
All right.
Because I'm all over the inbox.
All right, let's get it going. All right. First one is anonymous. It says, Dear Lyric, I am 23. My name is not telling you. Sorry. Okay. I want to remain anonymous. For me personally, my virginity has always been a big thing for me. Not for any religious reasons, just a personal thing. My boyfriend of almost 2 years has been very patient and never pressured me about it, which I have always appreciated. A couple of nights ago, I decided that I was finally ready, and we did it. Only it was so emotionally taxing and disappointing. I've always had this idea that I'd want my first time to be romantic and gentle. But he honestly treated it as if we'd done it a million times. He didn't check on me or comfort me or ask me if I was okay at any point. And it was very painful. He texted me the next day asking what was wrong, and I talked to him about it. He was apologetic and felt guilty, but in one of his messages, he wrote, I'm sorry, I couldn't focus on anything. You were making me feel really good, and it was hard to talk. Was that supposed to be flattering? On one hand, I feel like I'm being overcritical and had too much of a high expectation, but on the other hand, I feel so hurt and disappointed. I don't know if I ever want to have sex again. I just want to ask you about it because I have no one else to talk to. What should I do?
Imagine being the nigga, right? Imagine being the nigga, like, that this is your girl, right? And she said the sex with you was so awful that on her first time, like, this ain't nobody that's been hoed out. She was just like, first time out, that nigga ain't do this, he ain't do that, he didn't check on me, he made sure he didn't do shit. He just fucked the shit out of you, sent you on your way, and then sent you a text. What's wrong? Imagine being that dude. Y'all garbage out. The bar is in hell. It's in hell.
Well, honestly, I don't know any female that I've talked to that really enjoyed their first time. That shit hurts. Shit hurts. And
I thought y'all did. Never mind.
Hell no. That shit
Sorry,
hurts.
I'm not speaking from experience. I ain't never slept with no virgin female. Sorry. Now I can tell you some other stories. Now we can get the nose.
Oh my gosh. I think people need to have realistic expectations. Y'all watch too many movies, y'all watch too much porn, and y'all think that this is how these real life situations actually work. That is not how it is in real life at all. I think the expectation was extreme. And sometimes it takes a while because if nobody's going to feel comfortable with their first time doing something, it's of the unknown. Like, you don't know what to expect. Like, nobody's going to feel comfortable. And unfortunately, it's going to take a while for you to do so, to know your body, for him to learn your body, to know what you like. You've never done it before. So how would you know? It's just going to take some time. The studies have shown that some women haven't even achieved orgasm until they've reached the age of 45.
Wow. Y'all,
these are women who have had these experiences for a nice little period of their life. So I think it's just something that you should relax about.
No fun.
If you don't want to, that's perfectly fine. But just be open with your partner and let him know how you feel and keep that line of communication open. So the next time you know, you could tell him how you feel, and maybe he can be more considerate of the situation while y'all are doing the nasty.
Well, since we're talking about sex, this next letter, I was gonna pick the one about this lady asking about an emotional support cat, but girl, just go get a cat. If your boyfriend don't like it, get the goddamn cat. Just fuck that nigga. Anyways, you see where the bar is with these dudes. Anyways, all right, this one is a little bit more spicy. Dear Larry, I've been a loyal listener since last year to If It Were Lyric segment. Never fails to bring a smile on my face, even when life gets a little messy, kind of like my dating life right now.
Oh, Lord.
So here's my situation. About 4 years ago, I had a bit of a herpes scare with someone I was dating. Let's just say it wasn't exactly the romantic adventure I'd signed up for. Fast forward to today, and I'm finding it hard to navigate the dating scene. It's like trying to dance with 2 left feet while wearing roller skates. I mean, I cannot joke about it. Like, at least I know I'm not contagious. I'm just emotionally unavailable. But it's starting to feel like the past is casting a long shadow over my love life. I want to put myself out there, but I can't shake off the anxiety of what might happen if things heat up. How do I approach dating with the confidence and clarity while still being honest about my health history? I want to be upfront, turning it into I want to be upfront without turning it into a this is my life story kind of moment on the first date. I'd love any advice or anything that you could share to help me get my groove back while keeping it real. Thanks for all the laughs and heartfelt moments you guys bring to my day. Looking forward to hearing back from you. Sincerely, a hopeless romantic with a sense of humor. That was in the subject line.
Wait, so do they have it or they don't have it?
From what it reads, I'm guessing that she does, or whoever this person is that they do. I can't even tell if it's a man or a woman. I'm guessing that they do have it, but they're out here, trying to be into the dating scene, and they don't want to, on their first date, be like, so, hey girl, got these herpes, and
okay, I get it.
So that
I was a bit confused because
right.
Usually when you say scared, that means it could have happened, but it didn't. Like people say, "Oh, I had a pregnancy scare," but that was a bit confusing.
Oh,
y'all like writing skills are like, come on, yo.
Maybe she meant. Or maybe they meant something like a scare with, he or she. Maybe they meant like a scare as far as them possibly transmitting it to their partner. And now it's kind of given them this, pause now about dealing with, anybody else moving forward.
Well,
a lot of people deal with the same thing with HIV. So.
If that is the case, it's not something that I would talk about on a first date because you're just getting to know the person. You don't even know if you'll even have romantic like vibes with them. That could honestly end up being your friend. I've seen that happen a lot where people have went on dates and they've just been cool. That no sparks flew, no nothing like that, and it was fine. I think it's a conversation when you start to become a little bit more intimate that needs to be had. Like, what do you think about going to get tested, or when's the last time you get tested? Like a lot of people like forget to ask those type of questions when they're like pursuing someone too. Like, if we're gonna be intimate, when's the last time you've been to the doctor? Okay, let's know about that. And not just check for HIV, because y'all love to like act like that's the main like disease out here from sex. No. Crabs. Herpes,
ouch.
Chlamydia, gonorrhea. The list goes on. Genital warts. Like come on. You have to like know your status, and don't be afraid to ask for somebody else's status when they're trying to get your goods. You have every right to know. So when that time comes, definitely, yes, have that conversation. Let them know, ahead of time, and educate them too, because just because you have it does not mean that you can automatically transmit it. As a matter of fact, most people in the United States have a sort of strand with it, especially if they've had chicken pox. It might not be like complex.
It may not be the prominent one, right? It may not be the prominent one everybody talks about, like genital herpes, but
but most of the time it lays dormant within your body. So it's nothing to be like ashamed of. Just be honest about it. Being like, look, this is what it is. This happened to me. I want to be upfront. And what's your status? What is your status? Talk. Have a conversation about it. Everybody's grown. Like, if you're worried about somebody judging you about that, then I'm sorry, but this is the world we live in, and maybe you should try to pursue somebody, who has different values and vet them a little better, date them a little longer, and understand, like, everybody's not going to have the same ideas as you, but it's nothing to be ashamed of. But the conversation still needs to be had, because that's very important. You need to let people know.
And I know we make a lot of right. And I know people make a lot of jokes about STDs and everything else. I mean, it's sort of like those fart jokes and stuff that are ultimately meaningless. But it does create a stigma. Jokes mean things. This is why I try to be tempered about the types of jokes and stuff that I put out there into the world, because then they turn into bigger things like this. Little comments about how Haitians eat dogs then ultimately turn into a citywide campaigning trope to where they're saying people eat dogs and cats. Like, it's big. It's bigger than that. So yeah. My heart goes out to you as you navigate through it. Wow.
Yeah. I hope you find somebody that, will accept you for you, and, wrap it up. Stay protected.
Absolutely.
And that's about it for this week on If It Were Lit. Tune in next week. We'll have so much more.
All right. So on this timeline, Miss Lyric, a lot happened this week.
Ciao.
Okay. We're going to just have to... okay. You know what? Let's take a break. We'll come back, and we're going to try to sort through what's important, what ain't, what we care about, what we don't. All right. We'll be right back.
There's been discussion about how the conservative shift in politics is being reflected in social media's algorithms. And I have to believe that is why my For You page is so rancid right now. Rancid in the sense that even some of the creators whose perspectives that I generally respect are coming off very, I'm trying to find a nice word, conservative. The policing of immodest women is an example of this. You think booty cheeks are inappropriate for homecoming? Fine, I personally don't care. Poster girl dresses are worker wear, so they are impractical for the daytime, and many young women do take cues from sex workers without understanding what comes with that lifestyle. Fine, I agree. But why were y'all throwing around terms like hypersexual? Something that is a medical condition that y'all were diagnosing people with based on clothing. Why did y'all go full red pill by saying that these women should not be surprised if they're harassed or assaulted in this attire? Meanwhile, there is no actual correlation between sexual violence and clothing. Men have just programmed y'all to believe that so that you blame women for their behavior. That's feminism 101. I thought we all got that. Why are people spreading myths about HIV and AIDS like it's the fucking 80s? Ronald Reagan ass motherfuckers talking about they shouldn't be allowed in tattoo shops and that PrEP commercials are bad because they encourage people to sleep with infected people. Somebody actually said that. Why is it cool to now openly mock disabled people under the guise of faux adoration? I love Shay and Bria. The way that y'all are demonizing radicals to cape for politicians before election day. Ew. Mocking genocide victims and posting the number to ICE as a joke in response to Kamala losing. Ew. Using identity politics as a pejorative when you don't even know where that term originated from, similar to how conservatives do woke. Ew. Implying that trans women are not allowed to be upset at being misgendered if they don't look feminine enough. Ew. Repackaging gender roles and sprinkling on spirituality, talking about dark, divine, feminine energy. Ew, ew, ew. And now this just in, y'all are about to pretend not to understand why a woman saying not only that she likes to be thin, which is her right, but that sometimes it's all she thinks about, to her comment section that's full of the most scary comments about women and their pursuit of thinness. Now we're about to pretend like we don't see why that's a fucking problem. I can't stand y'all.
Time to troll.
What am I starting with first?
Shit, I don't know what to start with first. So, let's see. Let's kick it off with Donald Trump. It says Donald Trump Donald Trump shares plans to eliminate daylight savings time. Because, kids can't eat school lunch because of school debt. But, daylight savings time, let's make that a priority. Did you hear? All right, so basically, y'all, he's back in the headlines, and this time he's talking about wanting to eliminate daylight savings time.
Great.
We out here trying to keep up with the sun, and he's like, nah, let's just scrap it. But here's the kicker. It seems like he and Melania, have you noticed how he and Melania keep echoing and keep copying the same shit that Barack and Michelle did?
Yep.
Barack been talking about, Obama had that whole let's keep it simple and keep people on a schedule energy. And now here comes Trump thinking he's reinventing the wheel. And, he's giving I want to be the cool kid in class. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to mimic the same shit that the actual cool kids are doing. Like Melania, her dumbass, sitting up there echoing Michelle's speech verbatim.
Where has she even been?
Love don't live here anymore. You can't tell me. I don't know.
I used to live for her snatching her hand away from his ass. Those were my
and now he's trying to make
moments.
But he's trying to make that whole you can't divorce thing now. So she's not gonna be able to even leave his ass, even if she wants to. That's gonna be interesting. Daylight savings time, for those of y'all that don't know, it's been a topic of debate for ages. Some folks love that extra hour of daylight. Other people are just like, why am I losing sleep? So Trump wants to make this an actual thing. So, if he wants to do that, he better come up with some actual plans instead of concepts of a plan. Because right now he ain't got it, whether it's about the clock or the kitchen. Let's just hope it leads to some real change for people, not just another headline. What you got? What happened in the world that you care about?
Oh my gosh! Speaking of wild, confused, dazed, and other things, have you heard about the drama with Remy Ma?
Okay, so I saw the headlines and immediately scrolled past, but go ahead. I'm full of details.
Last year we all got an inkling of Remy Ma possibly cheating on her husband Papoose with another battle rapper who kind of sort of looks like the Temu version of him.
Not the Temu. Not Temu Papoose.
So this is what makes it funny. Over this weekend, I think Friday, this all kicked off. Apparently, Papoose has decided to move on from Remy Ma. And he got himself a young girlfriend who actually looks like the Sheen version of Remy Ma.
Okay. So, how much whiskey led to the fight that both of them was like, I don't like you. I don't like you either. And this seems like they trying to make one another jealous.
So this is what happened. Papoose has been quiet throughout this entire debauchery. Even when he allegedly knocked out the guy who was cheating with Remy Ma.
The reason why he said Easy, right?
Huh?
That guy's name is Easy, right?
I think so, yeah. Easy, the block captain. So, Papoose claims that he
Allegedly.
knocked him out because not because he was sleeping with Remy Ma. It's because he shook his hand and then slept with Remy Ma, which is
What?
very disrespectful. So I guess they met each other, and
So you can sleep with my wife so long as you can sleep with my girl, my boo, my bae, so long as you don't sleep with them after we've met. Like what?
I
What are we
guess so.
doing?
I mean, but they were still married, so either way, it's wrong. It's still wrong. Just
The
separate.
bar
Just separate.
is
Get
in
a divorce.
hell.
Like, don't be with each other. Like, I'm not understanding. So, since Papoose decided to pop out with his new boo, Remy Ma decided to pop off on IG and basically started attacking Papoose and his new girl, claiming that she doesn't cheat and she's been holding it down and she has receipts of her own. Papoose then finally responds and calls her a narcissist on IG and comes with his own receipts and provides photo evidence of Remy Ma actually cheating and being booed up, cuddled up under a Christmas tree on Christmas Day with the man she claimed she wasn't cheating with. So it has been an absolute mess. I'm hoping they can just work through it because honestly, come on now. Just separate. Just separate. Y'all got more than enough money to do so. Like just divide y'all shit and get out of each other's life and move on.
Yeah, that's a messy situation. Y'all can walk away. Y'all can. Wow. All right, so let's get to this this big story about Beyonce's husband out here allegedly being named in this. Okay, let me make sure I temper my words correctly because the Carters be suing and
the Hive be having
and the Hive be having. But you know what? The Hive don't. The Hive is like very Jay-Z adjacent. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like that's Beyonce's husband versus that's Jay-Z. But then you have some are like, oh no, this, that, and the third. That's Beyonce. Okay,
yeah,
like,
I get it.
You can't make mistakes. So it's very important that as you read these headlines. All right, now you know what? Let me just read. Here's the scoop. Now, reports have surfaced about some wild parties that Diddy's been throwing, and it seems like Jay-Z's name got thrown into the mix. Now, there are all these allegations about the nature of these parties, which suggests that these things might have gotten, a little bit out of hand. And you know how the industry can be. Sometimes the lines between celebration and chaos can kind of blur and people start talking. Now, Jay-Z, being the businessman, the mogul, the cultural icon, all of that he is, has always maintained a certain level of decorum. Like he always has. He's built his empire on a foundation of respect and integrity.
Yeah.
So it's quite surprising to a lot of people, including myself, to see his name getting dragged into the situation. People are wondering if he's just a bystander or if he was actually involved. And that's where the speculation kicks in because, like when all of these allegations about Diddy first dropped, you had all of these people that had ever taken a picture with him. The nigga been in, like he's been in the spotlight for 20, 30 some odd years. And now everybody that's taking a picture with him, people side-eyeing, are you at the Diddy parties, this, that, and the third. Jamie Foxx just did a special on Netflix where he made jokes about the shit too. So, I mean, it's like, if you have a picture with Diddy now, everybody's side-eyeing you. Now, but, okay, you know what? Let's keep it real. This isn't just about the allegation. This is about the broader implications of how these narratives can affect their legacies. Jay-Z has worked hard to position himself as not just a rapper, but like a leader in the community. And he has. And any association with questionable activities can tarnish that reputation. And I think that's a little bit more. That's my opinion of what's going on here. I feel like at the end of the day, we need to wait for information to come out before jumping to conclusions.
I agree.
This industry is full of all kind of rumors, and sometimes things get blown out of proportion. But one thing is for sure: both Jay-Z and Diddy have built their names on hustle and talent. I will say that they have worked their asses off, and how they navigate this situation will say a lot about their characters moving forward. So let's keep our ears to the ground. Let's see how this shit plays out, because a lot of y'all will read headlines and look no further.
Right.
There's stuff coming out now about, this kid that's allegedly his that they've been talking about for years. They got pictures of him next to Jay-Z, the little split screen thing. That's always
crazy. Been a thing. That's always been a thing. It's been going on for at least 10, maybe 15 years that I've remembered. Like, things can easily be proven, yo. I'm not really understanding that.
And them split pictures, okay, have you seen Blue, Sir, and Rumi? Have you? Okay, no shade whatsoever, right? But from what I've seen, what we've all seen from them three kids, is that there's something. There ain't a DNA strand out here that can withstand that camel gene. Because them babies look just like him. And they all got that face. You know what I'm saying? They all do. Adorable children.
Do. They look smack
adorable
like him.
children. But they look like him. That kid did not.
He stressed her ass out during her pregnancy.
Right. But that kid they got up there did not. Sorry, didn't. Speaking of the Carters, because I'm going to end that on a positive note, Beyonce's Be Good, the B-E-Y good, Be Good Foundation donates $100,000 to the University of Houston Law Center. Work day. And did you see how Jay-Z went out with Blue Ivy at the premiere?
Yes,
that was so cute and adorable.
She looked so cute.
She did. Did you see how the internet was? Wait, here's another one. Did you see how the internet was picking them apart? Picking apart that little girl, talking about what she had on at the
premiere. It was too grown. No, it was not.
Right, that was her moment. What's your baby doing?
She was completely covered up. She just had her shoulders out. That's expected for a strapless dress. She was very covered. And it was very age appropriate, in my opinion. She looked like a fucking princess. Get off of her now.
Leave her alone. Leave them alone. Y'all picking apart children has never boiled over well for me. It never has. That's always really irritated me, because they're children. Stop this. Grown ass adults.
And she really looks like the perfect mix between them two. Like, she is so cute. Remember when they used to talk about her hair and all types of shit when she was a baby?
Yep. Nothing different than any other black child out here. And now it's like, oh, well, everything they do is going to be scrutinized. That's why with these allegations and things, I'm waiting until the story comes out. I really am. And I mean, and I'm that way across the board. I'll make jokes here and there, but I'm not going to, again, I'm tempered with the jokes that I make, because I know that they can turn into something large. They really can. Christina Milian defended Blue Ivy following the backlash over the dress. She said she wore, Christina Milian went off. You definitely go check that out. Let's see. 50 Cent spoke about the recent allegations made against Jay-Z. He said, quote, the NFL wouldn't necessarily be associated to that. A few headlines later, the NFL said, oh no, we have no plans on cutting Jay-Z from anything at this point, girl. What are you talking about?
Right.
So I think that's a little bit more rooted in hate, because, you got all these people still mad at Jay-Z because he didn't pick Wayne for the Super Bowl. Yeah, you got a lot of that hate going on. You got a lot of this, in my opinion, you got a lot of this misdirection as far as our energy and our attentions. You got all these high profile people with all these rape allegations, all of these misconduct allegations, and all this past fuckery right now being appointed to places under Donald Trump's cabinet. But then they're like, oh, but Jay-Z may have been at the Diddy parties. So again, just keep y'all's eyes open. Just saying. Just saying.
Now nobody is safe about these Diddy parties. You know they dragging Robin Williams. Why is he even in the headline?
He's been dead. What are we talking about?
Listen, Robin Williams has been recently talked about in some blogs on IG, stating that he knew what was going on, and that's one of the reasons why he decided to allegedly he's faked his own death as well.
Robin Williams faked his own suicide. Make that make sense.
Apparently so.
Okay.
It's weird.
Speaking of outright fuckery, let's talk about Luigi.
Go ahead.
You want this one or you want me to lead?
No, go ahead, because I can't get through it.
All right. So NBC News headline said, this is what it first grabbed me. After his disappearance, Luigi Mangione reemerged as a suspect in a high-profile killing. Those who know him are dazed. Before his arrest this week in the killing of United Healthcare CEO, Mangione's family desperately tried to find him, reaching out to former classmates and posting queries on social media. Lyric: I hate being a conspiracy. Like, I don't like going down the conspiracy theory rabbit holes because there's so many of them. And there's so much fuckery. But you've been missing. Did you show up as the person that shot this CEO
at McDonald's with everything on you? And you expect me to fucking believe that shit? As a professional hitman, you just happen to have the hoodie, the manifesto, the weapon. This ain't
just all right there.
Clue. This ain't no fucking clue. Y'all playing in my face. I do not think that is a man. I think he was hired and he is out of here. And y'all just got you a little scapegoat motherfucker. They're like, yeah. Listen, I think it's some funny business, and let's not act like it's impossible.
It's not. People are speculating that this is all connected to the cutthroat nature of the healthcare industry. Like, profits are on the line. You got a lot at stake. There is no surprise that tensions can, boil over. But let's be real. This kind of violence is like, and that's just it's too calculated for me as a person. Everything is just right there. It's just right there. Like, there's
just like
it's
y'all
just
killed
like you
Dr.
said.
Sebi because he said he had a cure for HIV and AIDS. But y'all killed, and he allegedly mysteriously died of pneumia. Get the fuck out of my face! Y'all killed that man because,
in our opinion,
in my opinion, y'all killed that man because why? Profits. There's no money in a cure. There's money to be made on treating symptoms, though.
There is. But let's be honest. Like, even let's say, for example, that this did happen and everything is on black and white or on paper as this, and this is what we're told to believe moving forward. Let's just be honest with ourselves in this being the first of many things that could possibly happen, in my opinion, because it seems like y'all are cutting, like, you don't realize that this coming administration, you don't realize how many lives they're about to seriously impact. This is not just 4 years of the up and down, and we kind of balance it and we find like a happy medium for everybody. It's not that. It's literally the rich coming in deciding who is and who isn't worthy. And a lot of the people that are going to be deemed not worthy are the people that oppose their personal opinions and beliefs. Imagine that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we stand with this. Let me see. What else? It was so much that happened this week. There's just certain ones that I just want to kind of honorably mention. Let's see. Bill Clinton's, he shared his take on the 2024 election. He said, quote, according to the Shade Room, he says, quote, Donald Trump won the race fair and square, I think. Which, okay, fine, but Bill Clinton.
I know you ain't talking.
I mean, listen, he's saying, I think he won the race fair and square. And you know what? Kamala echoes. She says that he won. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about him going, you know, oh yeah, this, that, and the third. I guess they don't want to paint that same kind of picture that he did in the 2020 election. I didn't really lose, this, that, and the third. So in some ways, I can see how this, you know, how he would make that statement. But in other ways, I'm thinking, you know, maybe sometimes it's okay to just shut up. Maybe sometimes.
That's what I'm saying.
Just maybe. Just a little bit. Yeah, and everything else.
Taking notes from Monica. I see.
You got anything else you want to talk about?
No, I don't really care about anything else.
Good. Then I can bitch about y'all on the Caucasity next and people being bad parents. I'm sorry. I know I ain't got no kids. You know what? I'm gonna get into it next. We'll be right back.
So Shein, Fashion Nova, and Temu sell products that cause cancer? Yes, researcher for me search, share this video with your mama, your daddy, your cousins, them, especially them that love to get them big old hauls of the Temu or the Shein or the Fashion Nova. Shein and Temu products found to contain high levels of toxic chemicals. Authorities in South Korea found that some items in Shein clothing contain carcinogenic substances hundreds of times over the legal limit. Research of a me search, just so we clear, when we ask ourselves how does carcinogen cause cancers, there's three major ways: DNA damage, genetic changes, and cell growth. I'm not going to get into the specifics. You can pause to read it, but listen, they are selling products that cause cancer. Back to this article though. Ladies specifically, let's get into the specifics. Women accessories sold by some of the world's most popular online shopping firms contain toxic substances, sometimes 100 times above the acceptable levels. I get it. I like cheap shit too. But education is elevation, man, and fast fashion is made with alarming high amounts of toxic chemicals. The manufacturers are able to get us these cheap products at the expense of our own health. What if the CEO of these fast fashion companies be clicking up with the CEOs of the health pharmacy industries and they be causing us cancer to be able to profit on the back end and the front end? Conspiracy, right? Remember in 2019 when Fashion Nova put those warning labels on their $34 swimsuits about it causing cancer? Remember that? Follow for more, because in my next video, I'm going to get into how fast fashion is also bad for the environment. Yes, education is elevation and research over me, sir. Share it with your cousin there.
Marcus has your glimpse into a world without seasoning.
Okay, so earlier this week on Facebook, you know, I'll be doing Facebook shenanigans. And I know that there's a lot of listeners of ours that are parents. I know some of you are, you know, parents from all different walks of life. We got straight parents, gay parents, otherwise. Mm-hmm. And, you know, one of the things that has always been one of the things that's really just gotten under my skin about parenting are bad parents. It always has been. Mm-hmm. And I posted this. I said, beating young people into submission doesn't force them into seeing things the way you'd like them to, and certainly isn't raising them right, in case you weren't unclear. And those of y'all about to comment Bible phrases or tell me your own success stories, add despite of instead of because of in your statement. And what I meant by that, a lot of people go, or they kind of lead with this energy of, well, I got beat, and because I got beat, I turned out all right, so this, that, and the third. And they kind of lead with this energy, and it's like, no, you got beat, and despite of being beaten, you were still successful. People attribute because I was beaten, because these kinds of things happened to me, that is how I am the way that I am today. Now, all of that energy aside, Now, and I'm not saying that y'all have to be the good perfect parents. You don't even have to be good parents. But have y'all tried not being bad ones? Like, I want to ask y'all something completely rhetorical because, it's a podcast. But when was the last time you looked up the statistics of these practices? Are y'all aware that, like, proven research indicates a really troubling correlation between the use of corporal punishment on children, like beating your child, and the likelihood of domestic violence against partner? So the same niggas beating their kids are the same ones beating y'all's asses. Just so you know. Now, the percentages themselves are widespread based on whatever it is that, wherever it is that y'all live. But the findings themselves suggest that parents who use physical discipline are more likely to exhibit abusive behaviors in their relationships also. And it's shocking, but not shocking. For instance, a study published in the American Journal of Family Law noted that men who engage in physical punishment with their kids are significantly more likely to also engage in violence against their partners. Some studies report that up to 40 to 50% of men, half of them who use corporal punishment, may also beat your ass. This is why I'm stunned every time somebody hops online to tell the rest of us that they not only beat their kids, but y'all be like 10 toes down. Y'all be proud of it. And I'm confused. I'm left with this confusion. And you have so many that very regularly get rattled and feel triggered by statements like that post and like the one I'm making now. And if you one of them people, that's for you to work out, you grown ass nigga. It is. Get yourselves into a therapist's office and work out why parenting somebody new to this world isn't for you or isn't enough for you. Why is it that you have to crave that I may enact violence over you kind of fear control versus developing the skills and the range that would actually make you much more effective parent and actually earn the respect so many of y'all will rather lie to yourselves or trick yourselves into believing that you have from the people that you violently manipulated? Do that. Why do I let my frustrations with my child's behavior allow me to enact violence against them? Why don't I have a stronger character to parent my child without the use of psychologically damaging illegal means? Start there. Then allow your therapist to take the wheel down the rabbit hole of your own desires to have the same control that white people feel like they should have over us. That's why this segment is called Oh the Caucasity, because the bullshit that y'all do that the white man does to us. Go take that shit to your therapist. Take that wild ride together and sort that shit out before you get online, feel triggered, and end up sounding dumb like the rest of us. Because y'all will get on somebody's status and be like, oh, well, I fully agree, but... And then you'll go on to like jump in with a testimony of your own failures in order to justify your bullshit because you feel rattled. Somebody told you what you were doing is wrong. And instead of saying, you know what? I am wrong. Let me go get this shit figured out. Y'all won't do that. Y'all will go and be like, oh, well, I mean, I'm wrong, but I beat my kids. Fuck y'all. Fuck you, me. This is why, like, very seldomly, I get along with straight men. Very seldom, Larry. I really do. Like, I'm not one of those weaker people that straight men tend to get around. Like, they do this, like, trauma bonding with their boys where they all have had, like, these... And, I mean, people do that in general. But I've noticed that, we've developed these circles of people accepting poor behaviors. And then they just pat us on the back and it's like this bro code and we don't speak bad of our brothers, even when they're doing fuck shit. I'm not that person. So perhaps, I'm not for every circle, every circle. Now for women, y'all, it's important to recognize that these stats are part of a broader issue of violence and aggression in family dynamics. Normalizing physical discipline, it starts the cycle of abuse. Leave that lonely ass broken nigga alone until he goes and works his shit out and unlearns these harmful behaviors. Because these cats will double talk y'all into falling for the okie doke if you let them. They will. And that's more systemic than anything. These dudes crave the power that the white man's has. But like any and other abusive behavior, you got to get help for that, bro. That's it. That's all. What you got to say, Miss Lyric?
I'm all for what you said, and I'm in agreement.
Okay.
However,
there we go. Don't you start caping for these straight men. Don't
I
you
am
start
not.
caping. Okay.
However, under extreme circumstances, at the very least, I believe in yoking your child the fuck up. The reason why I say that is because I saw, of course, it's Walmart, but I saw this video of this little girl. She had to be about maybe.
I know what you're talking about. The little white girl.
And she was a little black girl, and she was wrecking shop in that Walmart. Yeah, this is a whole.
Are you talking about with the Christmas?
This happens all the time.
You talking about the Christmas cakes, girl?
Watch this, the little black girl. She taking all the shit and she's knocking it over. She's throwing bottles of like sparkling cider and shit, tossing that shit over, knocking everything over, just causing mass destruction. And the mom is sitting there talking to her. Come on, so-and-so, let's stop, let's calm down, and blah, blah, blah. And the girl did what? She looked her dead in her fucking eye, and like one of them cat videos where they knock shit off the counter, bloop, everything gone off the display. Wow. She started pushing over displays and shit.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. For instances like that, sometimes you got.
But do you see? Okay, and I hear you on that.
What you doing?
And you know what? I completely hear you on that. But
and there's levels to it too. Like,
let me say this.
Yeah.
Let me say this. Here's the thing. That did not just start right then there in that Walmart. That behavior started as a result. That behavior started as a result of some bullshit that she failed to address before. Again, parenting. Because you don't just up one day, unless there's something mentally going on, but you don't just up one day, run Walmart and start breaking shit unless you have a past history of not getting your way and the shit not being checked. At that point, what happens is y'all sit your babies in front of these you'll sit them in front of Bluey, you'll sit them in front of YouTube, you'll pacify them and not raise them. You'll make it to where exactly, you will quell these children into just shutting up so that you can live life. And then the moment that they step out of line or quote unquote embarrass you, that's when you want to jump in with these corporal parenting skills. That should have been addressed prior to you getting to the Walmart and then becoming the next viral video that's talked about on WRTR. So it is what it is. Get your shit together. All of y'all.
For real. Because I'm like, I couldn't do it. I could not do it.
But that's it. That's all. Stop trying to be like white people. Do better. And we'll be back with the second half of the show right here on WRTR Real Talk Radio.
What the do I have to do in this council in order to get respect as a black woman? I'm not afraid of anybody here. When I make a mistake, I will be clear. I don't hate you as a white woman. I don't hate you as a white man. I am sick and tired of this body so stupidly racially divided, so afraid, so depraved. People with no faith because they are afraid of they're losing their investment. They're afraid of bargaining. They're afraid of leveraging. These people have, oh my God, I can't even call you cowards because desperation deserves mercy. Here's a redistricting. Fine, we give it to a white woman. Can we all get along? Can we get together? Can we love each other now? Can we make sure that black and brown babies don't die? Can we make sure that cops don't kill before people are proven innocent? Can we do that? No, because this body crucifies you first because of allegations. This is not a court. You don't get to crucify people before they're proven guilty. They're innocent until proven guilty. Now, after this, I will look forward to working with you because I have stamina. I believe, as Baldwin said, what you do, not what you say. Your votes here sometimes are racist. You move sometimes in a way that hurts my people. And then when I get up to stand up and talk, all she talks about is black stuff.
As you should.
I am here to represent every single black woman and man that suffers in the community. God has my back. I am not afraid to not have political aside or any type of affiliations or connections. I came here, I fear none, no man but my Lord. I came here to serve people. I came here to love. I came here to grow. But people talk about this racial equity thing. It's all fake. And you do politics and you hurt each other. And yet, here I am, a 5-foot-tall African woman from the projects. And I am here to tell you, if the voters don't vote me back,
Take us to work. Take us on the go. Take us wherever you go. WRTR, Real Talk Radio.
Back inside the second half of the show, right here on WRTR Real Talk Radio. So, Lyric, we were talking about Target earlier, right?
Yes.
Got some news.
What's going on with Target?
All right. Target is about to up the game and launch in their stores bars, and they're serving up something called Targaritas.
You are fucking lying.
I'm not lying. I'm not lying. You heard it right. We talking about margaritas that are straight up ready to make your shopping experience feel like a mini vacay. Picture this. So you roll it through Target, right? Looking for that perfect throw blanket. Hold up. There's a bar right in the middle of the aisles, right? You stop. You grab yourself a Targarita. Sip on that thing while you browsing down the kitchen gadgets. See a nigga wink. And now suddenly, you're feeling like you're at the beach of Cancun instead of just trying to find some paper towels. It's retail
This is the most trifling shit I've ever seen. No, don't do it. If y'all gonna make Target Walmart, it's gonna be people fighting. It's gonna be bitches staring each other in the face because they too drunk and can't handle their shit. Don't fucking do it. You gotta make Target Walmart.
But here's the thing. That's where my mind went, because now you got us as a people boycotting Walmart. So where's the next place we're going to go? We're going to go to Target because they seem to be doing things for black people. Now, God knows. Oh, God, I didn't say it out loud. They might disappoint me. But for right now, it seems like they real pro-Negro over there. So if that's the case, cool. But just realize you now have a entirely new demographic that's about to start to come to your store. And then you about to give them liquor on top of that? Good luck. What you think, Miss Lyric? You getting a Targaryen?
No.
Wow, it might be good.
No.
Let's go to
And then
to
you're gonna have
Target.
people hitting people cars in the parking lot and shit. That shit gonna be ghetto. Ghetto. I'm not here for it. Target is a bad idea. Don't do it. If you want to do something, market you a brand that you can sell inside the stores and that they can take the fuck home. Don't have them drinking in your damn store. Hell no.
Targaritas to go. Targaritas to go.
Margaritas to go. Like, as they should. The fuck? I be mad as shit. I come outside after trying to just get some toilet paper and my car then got a big ass dent in it because you didn't let somebody order like 5 Targaritas and shit. And they ain't even purchased nothing but the margaritas. Yeah, hell no. No, thank you.
You there with your Saturday out and with your baby, and then all of a sudden the bar drunk stumbles over and falls on your baby. It just seems like a bad idea, Target.
Listen,
To me.
That's why I said too many fights gonna break out. You gonna get the hood girls in there beefing and shit.
Word.
Somebody
Word,
gonna
Target.
Somebody gonna see that see their man out shopping with their side boo. It's gonna be fights. Y'all gonna make it ghetto. I'm trying to tell you. Don't do it.
But hold on, does that mean that they're gonna be changing their hours though? Because if you think about it, I can't imagine a whole bunch of people throwing back day drinks at a bar that closes at 9. Because some Target like close at 8 or 9.
Child.
Whatever. No. I don't know what y'all got going on at Target.
Day drinkers do exist. That's why the liquor store stays open and the people be outside begging. That ain't stopping nobody, okay? If somebody want to have a drink at 6 a.m., guess what? Yeah.
Good luck, Target. But leave me out of that.
Right. For real.
Wi-Fi's up next. Targaritas, girl.
Hell no.
We have some big news right now. Amazon is gearing up to give a $1 million donation to the Donald Trump Inaugural Committee hours after Mark Zuckerberg and Meta gave a similar $1 million donation. It really seems like all the big companies and billionaires are lining up behind this inaugural committee right now. So Amazon and Jeff Bezos will be giving $1 million to the inaugural committee to assist with planning inaugural events, but also to help with staffing, etc., for like the inaugural ball, the actual inaugural parade, things like that. Mark Zuckerberg also is giving $1 million via Meta to the inaugural committee. Now, interestingly, like I said earlier, Mark Zuckerberg and Meta did not donate in 2017 to Trump or to 2021 for Biden, but Mark Zuckerberg did go to Mar-a-Lago, meet with Donald Trump, and, well, he's now donating. And Jeff Bezos, as you know, is the owner of the Washington Post as well and blocked an endorsement of Vice President Kamala Harris this cycle. And now his company, Amazon, will be donating $1 million to the Trump committee. We'll see if Microsoft or Apple or anyone else does as well. Come below your thoughts, spread the word, and follow along for all the news you need to know about.
Why do you have roaches?
The Why File.
Why do my children hate me?
On WRTR, Real Talk Radio.
Why did my vagina burn?
The truth is out there.
Explaining the unexplained. We're answering why. It's the questions you want to know by taking your inbox messages at WRTR Real Talk Radio on Instagram. Let's see. This is the Why Files. Remember, the truth is out there. I got one from Jamal from Baltimore.
Okay.
Y'all's whys are becoming like letters because this is a whole thing. Jamal from Baltimore says, I just saw a headline about an indictment of 2 police officers in Anne Arundel County. So here's my why question. Why are we still seeing police officers being indicated for misconduct? I'm sorry, why are we seeing police officers being indicted? He said indicated. Wow. Indicted for misconduct, and what steps are being taken to ensure accountability and rebuild trust within the community? Yeah. Okay, Jamal. So here's the thing. When police officers are indicted, they're brought in for questioning, their, whatever. As far as rebuilding trust within the community, people, I don't know. It's always been a case by case thing, in my opinion. Like, if you made a bad call here or there that did not end up in the ending of someone's life, that is one thing. Mm-hmm. What we continue to see is police brutality. What we continue to see are mistakes that then have a lifetime of consequences.
Yeah.
Fucking up a report here or there, fine, whatever. That happens. But when you are actually talking, like, police officers are charged with the responsibility of holding down the community that they serve. That has been so missed by a lot of police officers that go in with the desire to control, with the desire to manipulate. They want power. And that is the reason that they take these jobs. When you pair that with the actions that they have, it all aligns. You have, like, for example, the whole situation with, you know what, I'm not even going to give that as an example. I'm just going to say on a broad scale, police officers are meant to police. They're not meant to control. They're not meant to bully. And I think that a lot of times people go into police officer roles with those intentions. Mm-hmm. And they're ill-equipped because of their personal biases, because of their personal stresses, because of the things that they know, or they may not even know sometimes, that deep down made them want to be a cop. Oh, well, one time this black guy robbed me and my white wife. And now every time that I go out on the streets, I'm very weary of black people. So now the moment that I see a black person, I'm already shook up. I'm already apprehensive. I'm already this, that, and the third. And the moment that that black person steps out of the line that I feel like they should be in, I'm just going to jump. I'm just going to pounce. I'm going to do this, that, and the third. And that is why they get indicted. Mm-hmm. As far as restoring faith to the community, well, first off, you need to choose a different career, bro. You've already established that there's some kind of a disconnect that makes you incapable of handling the responsibilities of the job that you have. So if you are a police officer and you have wrongly ended someone's life, I don't care what it is. If it was wrong and you did it, that is not a job that you need to have, in my humble opinion. Hope that helps, Jamal. Hopefully the truth is out there for you. What you got, Miss Larry?
Right. My why comes from me. Why did Target think that this was a good fucking idea? And our other stores going to follow up and have this same idea? Like, is Dollar General?
Oh God, no! I hope not.
Gonna sell daiquiris? Dollar daiquiris? Like, what do you
imagine Dollar Rail vodka? Oh my God! Oh my God! Dollaritas.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing here? Is Ross gonna start selling rum punches?
Oh my God! Rossaritas. I'm telling you, it's about the thing. Rossaritas, Dollaritas, goddamn McDonald's vodka.
Oh my God! It's all bad. It's all bad. It's all
Home Goods Fireball. God.
Oh damn. My God! Oh no, Home Goods horchata.
That's right. Oh my sex God. On the Safeway, sex on the beach. God damn.
Ew, I would never drink that.
Well,
should be watered the fuck down.
That wraps it up for this week's Why Files. Always answering why for you on our emails at WRTRradio@gmail.com. Hit us up. Send us your whys. We'd love to read them. Up next, we got news to make you nauseous. Remember, the truth is out there.
Yes, indeed.
There is no plan to jump Trump supporters, but what if I said that I wish there was? If not all of you, then certainly the most emboldened ones. Now, I'm not saying that, but what if I was? Would that be savage? Would it be violent? Uncivilized? Because you know what I find violent and uncivilized? Electing a white nationalist as president. I would argue that the entire U.S. government is stained with violence, and nobody embodies that more than Donald Trump. This is someone who uses hate speech, who openly incites violence every chance he gets. Something that culminated in an insurrection where people died. This is the same man who once said that we need, quote, one really violent, rough day of police retaliation to reduce crime. Does that sound familiar? I'm sure it does. It's the plot of the fucking purge. This is the same man who vowed to seek vengeance towards his political opponents down to withholding disaster aid from non-compliant states. That ain't violent? As a base, Trump supporters are so collectively violent that regardless of the election results, there were fears over how you motherfuckers would react. Had Kamala won, there were fears of a civil war, which really just means y'all raining terror on marginalized communities. Now that she's lost, people are bracing for what the environment will be after Donald Trump is sworn in. And let's be clear, there is no far left in this country. Y'all made that shit up, but I'm of the opinion that there should be. This is not a call for political violence from the left. It really couldn't be. We don't have the freedom, especially as Black and brown people, the freedom that allows white supremacists to roam the streets in red states. Untouched, by the way. But it is me expressing that I'm tired of this spineless ass high road shit that Democrats take in the face of very clear violence from not only Donald Trump, but the people that support him and the system that allows for a politician like him to exist in the first fucking place. So instead of using the same tactics that got Rosewood burnt down, you know, those white woman tears, how about y'all be glad that you aren't getting your asses whooped? Have a nice day.
And now, say what? News to make you nauseous on WRTR Real Talk Radio. Let's go.
These are some of the stories you might not read about in the New York Times, the Washington Post, or the Wall Street Journal. It's news to make you nauseous. You want to go first, Miss Lyric?
Sure.
I'll go for it.
Say what? Oxon Hill, Maryland.
Say what?
Oh, God. What happened in your backyard?
A 14-year-old student at Potomac High School in Oxon Hill, Maryland, was brutally attacked last Thursday. The girl's parents, demanding justice, are now calling on police to arrest the teenage suspects involved in the attack. The father made a statement, and it reads, on December 5th, 2024, I received a horrific phone call that my 14-year-old daughter was the victim of a brutal attack while attending cheerleading practice. According to a school official, my child was found in her own pool of blood, unconscious, inside of a supply closet. My child was approached by a mob of students in the hallway earlier that day. School officials claimed they caught the situation that started by a male who premeditatedly instigated the whole altercation before anything could happen at that time. A peer mediation was held, where inside mediation, this male individual was uncooperative, so the mediation was terminated. Note after that, with an altercation with the male, no parent was called. My child was then sent to attend the rest of her day at cheerleading practice. My child was then in another altercation with a fellow cheerleader. The cheerleading instructor had them do a sister activity later throughout cheerleading practice. The cheerleading instructor instructed my child to go to the supply closet to get some pom-poms. My daughter then told me once she went to that room to get the pom-pom, she was approached by a mob of students. And that's when they attacked her. Video evidence shows that the students went inside that room for, at least 30 minutes.
Video? This is on video?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. Video evidence also shows that after 30 minutes, for at least 24 minutes, no one came into that room to find my child.
Wow.
And when they did, she had to be viciously shaken to regain consciousness, and no paramedics were called. She said she was given ice pack and awaited for parents to come on the way while parents were coming. Then paramedics were called. I have questions that could go on for days, but I don't understand how a child could be missing for nearly an hour. Please, we need this brought to light. This should not be forgiven or left under the rug. It is really a problem with our PG County school systems and the safety of our children.
Wow.
Baby, the way I would
this
be
is on. Maybe, I don't know. These, as a
the
mom,
way I
how
would
do you
be
feel?
smiling in my mugshot.
I'm just saying, as a mom, do you see these kinds of incidents increasing with this upcoming administration? I mean, duh, but do you, what are your fears? I guess
honestly, PG schools are the worst, in my opinion. Especially over the past couple of years. Let's not forget when I first moved here. Y'all dropped my 5-year-old off at the wrong stop.
Oh wow, your 5-year-old?
Are you fucking kidding me? So we moved to a new apartment complex, and in the letter it states that pickup and drop off is going to be in the front at the gate. That's where all the other parents are. So I'm sitting here waiting for my baby, and I'm starting to see all these kids with backpacks, and I'm like, where's my baby? I don't see him. They dropped him off at the back of the building. I could not find my child. This is Jakar. He's now 6.
Oh my God.
I could not find my child for at least 30, 40 minutes. I'm crying. I'm running around. I'm on the phone cussing at everybody who pick up the phone at that school. Like, where the fuck is my child? Like, I was going through it. I'm asking people, have you seen my baby? He had this on. This. It's the most horrific feeling that anybody could have, especially with a kid that young. I don't trust PG county schools. And for the parents, if you happen to listen to this, sue. Get your bag and protect your baby by any means fucking necessary.
That's right. Wow.
You have to. Because I'm going through something with my daughter right now where she was inappropriately touched and the school hadn't contacted me.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And I cussed each and every person out. Sure did.
Ooh, we're going to have to talk about that when we're not talking to everybody else. But,
hey, listen, I'm not naming names. Nobody knows my daughter's name or the school that she goes to. Just know that I am in agreement with these parents. Like, fight for your baby, because nobody at these pissy ass schools are going to fight for your child but you.
Amen. Wow. Okay. Well, speaking of the upcoming administration, say what, United States of America?
Say what?
So Trump is out here saying that bringing down grocery prices, which he promised, is going to be, quote, very hard. And honestly, if that doesn't make you feel a little nauseous, I don't know what will. Here's why. Let's talk about the promises. Trump has a history of making big claims like, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But then when it comes down to the nitty gritty, it often feels to me like those promises get lost in sauce. Like, we've seen this play out time and time again, whether it's about healthcare, whether it's about the economy, or now grocery prices. This nigga literally said that he was going to bring down the price of specifically bacon. And I said, no, still, y'all did not. And it's like he's playing this game, a political twister, and we're all just like kind of trying to keep our balance. Now, let's keep it real about the grocery prices, like all in all. We have all felt the pinch of the grocery store, especially with inflation hitting hard. I think I read a status the other day that somebody was talking about they went to goddamn Save-A-Lot and mayonnaise was $9. They may have been exaggerating, but not really that far off. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Prices for the essential shit have like skyrocketed, and families are struggling to make ends meet. Saw another status online. People talking about, I don't know how a single income household is trying, surviving these days. It's hard. It really is hard.
Mm-hmm.
And people are struggling to make ends meet. So for Trump to come out and be like, it's going to be, quote, very hard to bring these prices down, it's just like adding insult to injury.
Yep.
It feels like he's acknowledging the problem, but not offering really any solutions. Just a classic case of talk without action. Plus, it's hard not to roll your eyes when you think back to how he handled similar shit in the past. Many are left thinking and feeling like it's just all political theater. And we're the audience stuck in the front row watching it all unfold. And I mean, honestly, it's enough to make anybody feel queasy. Me, everybody. Especially when you think about the real impact that these issues are going to have on everyday people. Just trying to put food on the table. So yeah, when you hear him say something as crucial as grocery prices are going to be very hard to tackle, it's a reminder to all of us of the unmet promises and the reality that we're living in. We need leaders who are ready to roll up their sleeves and get to work, not just throw out vague statements and leave us feeling frustrated. It's time for action, people, not just words. Don't y'all get that? Shit is hard. It is hard. If you want these and more nauseating news stories, make sure you follow us over on our socials at WRTR Real Talk Radio. I'm at MARCUSSMOOT. That's Marcus Smoot.
And you can find me on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram at Lyric Bravado.
All right. Speaking of the rich, did you earn it, though, is the topic of our Real Talk subject this week. We're talking about these rich, since they want to be in the cabinet. They want to be lording over us all. Let's talk about their wealth. Let's talk about whether or not they earned it. Up next.
A vote for Trump means your groceries will be cheaper. It'll also bring your grocery bill way down. I have more complaints on grocery. The word grocery, it's sort of simple word, but it sort of means like everything you eat. The stomach is speaking. It always does. And I have more complaints about that. Bacon and things going up, double, triple, quadruple. I haven't seen Cheerios in a long time. I'm going to take them back with me. Bacon is through the roof. They're all through the roof. The milk, everything is bad. And we're going to straighten it out. We're going to bring prices way down. And we'll get it done fast.
Now, Trump tells Time magazine that while he wants to make groceries cheaper, it's, quote, hard to bring things down once they're up. It's very hard.
Keeping it 100. It's Real Talk. WRTR Real Talk Radio. We keep it real.
All right, Nigs and Jigs, we back to Real Talk in a segment we're calling Did You Earn It, though? Miss Lyric. So we've read the headlines of Trump stockpiling this cabinet, this upcoming cabinet, with all these rich moguls. Most actually, never really holding any kind of political roles. And then it's like it's this air of like where the rich are going to make all the rules for the poor. And Elon himself, out of his own mouth, has said time and time again that he believes that homelessness is a fake, or it's a myth. It doesn't really happen. That being said, how does this upcoming administration and all the people in it, like, how are you feeling as a person right now? And just about their wealth, and just, first off, let's just start with their ability to be able to execute this, I guess, project 2025 or whatever they're allegedly proposing, the concepts of a plan or whatever it is that Trump is actually doing. What are your personal opinions about the cabinet right now as a woman?
I feel like all of those people are ridiculously idiotic. Nobody has a real plan. This is not real life right now, because y'all just saying anything. He said anything to gain votes, meaning that he's never had any intention, except for the things that aligns to his own agenda to fulfill any of the promises that he's made to the American people. All he is worried about is doing what he wants to do. Like making sure he has that mass deportation go on. That fits his agenda. That's one of the things that he's going to do. Let me tell you something. Those people are not worried about if the regular American can afford groceries. They're not. They're not worried about if the working American can afford rent. They don't care. They don't care about the stuff that working individuals like ourselves have to worry about. Why? Because they have money. And their money binds them to a lot of things that goes on in the United States and allows them to remain ignorant, so to speak. They don't really give a shit about anything. Elon, that is the most ignorant shit you can ever say. What are you talking about? homelessness is fake. It's not a real thing. Nobody fakes that. It's expensive as shit out here, but you wouldn't know that because you sitting here living it up in your millions of dollars of houses and shit. Like, you're living in the lap of luxury. So why would you say that with the next person and what they're going through?
And when we well, my issue is that every time that we make this point about how they're so disconnected from the world, every time that we make that point about that, a lot of the times we're met with the rebuttal of, oh, well, I mean, you're just jealous because I earned my money. And let's get into this whole concept of the white wealth and the white wealth hoarding, because that's a real conversation we need to have. When we talk about wealth in America, it's almost essential to understand the history and how it's been built, especially when it comes to Black and brown communities. So here's the deal. A lot of wealth that's accumulated in white communities didn't just magically poof appear. It's deeply rooted in a system that has benefited while exploiting others, from slavery to Jim Crow to even today. We see a pattern where Black and brown bodies have been used to build wealth for white folks, and they've held on to that wealth. You can't ignore that history when you're looking at the wealth gap today. And let's take a look at the land ownership. Back in the day, land was literally stolen from indigenous people and then worked by enslaved Africans. Fast forward to today, and you see how that historical advantage has set up a foundation for generational wealth. White families were able to pass down property and assets that were built during on the backs of us, those that were oppressed, us. So when you ask whether they actually, quote, owned it, it's like, yes, they owned it, but it's crucial to recognize how that ownership was achieved. And then there's this whole issue of like the systemic barriers. Even after slavery was thrown out and abolished, policies like the GI Bill, mortgage lending practices primarily benefited only white people, while systemically excluding us, Black and brown people. So it's not just about individual effort. It's about how the system has been rigged in favor of one group over another. And girl, nobody's going into your house to take your money. We're not doing that. But we're saying you big rich bitch, I should not have to pay in the same manner to live in this country that you do. Mm-hmm. I shouldn't have to accrue those things. I don't have that money. You do.
Right.
Now, it's a complex discussion. It is. And some folks might agree, and some folks may argue that everybody has an opportunity to build their wealth. But we got to keep it real. Access to resources, education, economic opportunities, all vastly unequal. And now you're trying to go in and pull those out by the roots.
First of all, people can't even say that when the minimum wage doesn't even match the cost of living. In order to even get an apartment, you have to make 3 times the amount. How is that possible?
It's not.
How? That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all, this country is not even realistic in what's actually going on in America. Y'all keep saying that, you know what I'm saying, we're in a whatchamacallit, but nobody is like doing anything like to help besides those little stimmy checks, which was
it's
how
like
many years ago?
Exactly. It's like running a race where somebody starts way ahead of others and other people are like just stuck at the starting line. They off running. We stuck at the starting line.
And some of y'all dumbasses voted for him thinking that he's the one who made it possible for you to even get this fucking stimulus check. Wrong. You idiots. You idiots.
Y'all have to think critically. Y'all have to do some critical thinking about how wealth is accumulated. Like, who benefits from it? Who benefits from this wealth? How is it accumulated? How can we work towards a more equitable future? This is about understanding the past and how it shapes our present. This is why you have so many people passionately speaking now because you are uprooting the things that we fought for. We didn't do this specifically for Black people. We did this to improve the overall quality of life for everybody. What do you think that these mass deportations is really going to do? That is going to hurt the economy in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm. But that's what y'all want to do.
So many of y'all are just.
Mm.
And
it was so many
people. If it
people.
was only financial, I would be. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It was so many people that voted for this to happen that should not have. It's ridiculous. Now you about to be without your abuela and your cousins and all of them people, like you got to vote for this man. Now he's saying fuck you and your family. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Even if you was born here, if the mama that had you illegally came over here, you got to be shipped the fuck back too.
Mm-hmm. Did you sidebar, did you see that that Meet the Press interview that he did on MS, what was it, CNBC or no, it was NBC News.
I try not to watch him as much as possible because I know that we have 4 years that he's going to be on.
It's going to be frustrating. Right.
Mm-mm. But what happened?
Listen, well, I'll just encourage our listeners to go watch it. But what I will say is that I walked away from that interview with two feelings. A, that his lies aren't even shrouded in mystery anymore. And B, that interviewer, I'm not going to say her name because I don't want to slam her, but that interviewer seemed ill-equipped for an interview of that magnitude, in my opinion. And sis, I don't know what to tell you. That was not your interview. I'm sorry. He owned that. He owned you. He danced around. He threw personal jabs in at her, rattled her a little bit. It was just, it was not good. It was not good. It was not good. He came off very cocky. He danced around the questions. He danced around the questions like he normally does. But it was egregious lyric. I'll send you the link. You probably get in maybe 10 minutes, 10, 20 minutes before you turn it off. But it was like an hour and some long.
I'm not watching that.
Anyway.
All that. Hell no. Like I said at the beginning of the show, my piece.
I feel you. But here's the thing. He coming in your house where you can't even get the peace. He gonna send the goddamn military into your cul-de-sac.
Wow.
Anyways, wrapping up this week here on WRTR. Sorry we missed last week. Again, life be life, and people gotta work. Things be happening. But you're feeling better now, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Good.
Praise
Good
the
to
Lord.
hear. Again, we're on social media at WRTR Real Talk Radio. I'm Marcus Smoot.
And I'm Miss Larry Provado.
And I guess we'll holler at y'all next week. Assuming these drones flying over everywhere haven't taken us all away or blown us up. What's going on with these drones?
I haven't seen one, so.
You haven't seen any? Well,
I haven't seen one.
Heather texted our group. Have you read the group chat?
Let me go look now.
Yeah, she sent a video from somebody's Ring camera showing those same drones that were flying around. So I don't know what to tell y'all. I don't know what's going on out here, but it's something. Be vigilant. Be safe. We'll holler at y'all next week. Bye.
WRTR Real Talk Radio.
This week's show featured talents from TikTok creators The Conscious Lee, Chris the Author, Blacksit World, Aaron Parnas 1, and MSNBC, using our platform to help amplify your voices.